Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH the Flame Emperor episode number 35 based on novel. So let's start. Xiao Yan and the old man came to the entrance of the third floor and found that there was only one guardian here, but his strength was quite tyrannical. Old Wang. The gatekeeper looked at the old man coming up, and said hurriedly and respectfully, and then looked at Xiao Yang next to him with an embarrassed look on his face. My people can go in, said the old man known as Wang Lao. I'm sorry old Wang, the rules are like this, please. Before the gatekeeper finished speaking, he saw a pharmacist hat and a pharmacist medal in Xiao Yang's hand. Usually, 1 star is a first-grade pharmacist. As for the medal of an imperial alchemist, the word emperor is inscribed on it, and 2 stars are also hung brightly on it. For an emperor-level pharmacist, 1 star is a first-rank emperor-rank pharmacist, and a 2nd star is an emperor-rank first-rank mysterious pharmacist. The gatekeeper's pupils also shrank tightly. Compared with the 4-star Do D Strong, the alchemist is actually more respectable. This young boy is actually a high-level pharmacist who can refine a first-grade emperor-level medicine pill. Dear emperor-rank 2-star alchemist, please. The gatekeeper was also respectful and made a gesture of invitation. Hearing that, Xiao Yang also took back his medal and followed. Old mister, let's go. Xiao Yang also said plainly. After all, Xiao Yang was disguised now, and they couldn't recognize their true colors, so they were relieved to show these things. I can't see that you are hiding deep enough. The old man was also shocked by Xiao Yang's 2-star emperor rank medal. After all, this thing can't be faked. Where is it? Xiao Yang also said modestly. I have to say, sometimes I really envy you pharmacists. Refining medicine pills for others is to make others die for them. Hey, let's go. The old man said while leading the way, but his eyes and voice could not hide the envy of Xiao Yang's identity as a pharmacist. As soon as we entered the 3rd floor, a seductive scent of medicinal herbs rushed to our face, but the number of people became very desolate. Looking around, there were only a dozen people on the 3rd floor, and some stalls were filled with some precious medicinal materials and high-rank pills, but without exception, no one guards these booths. This is the 3rd floor, with the safest security guards, so any medicinal materials and medicinal herbs only need to be registered and placed here, and there will naturally be a special person to take care of them, and those who buy can also watch it at will, but only from a distance. Don't touch it, otherwise. The old man also explained his confusion. Yeah. Hearing this, Xiao Yang was also stunned. No wonder there were no guards in the booths on the 3rd floor, only some people were constantly looking for what they needed. Let's go. I'll take you to get that medicinal herb, which is also a gift for your medicinal herb. The old man also knew that in terms of value, the value of his soil and the void transformation pill were not on the same level. Go on, and the kid in front of him is actually such a powerful pharmacist, he has to give him a good impression. Anyway, he doesn't know what the medicinal herbs are, so it is better to give this alchemist a favor. Tian Liangu. Xiao Yang kept saying the names of many treasures of heaven and earth. The boy next to the old man is like this. And the old man also smiled and said that if he can have a good relationship with a pharmacist, it will be much more convenient to find him to refine medicine in the future. It's here. The old man said casually. Xiao Yang also turned his attention to the booth on the 3rd floor. 3 flame flowers. Xiao Yang's eyes just turned around when he was attracted by an unremarkable medicinal herb on the latter's booth. A small plant like a sapling, the size of its own arm, with a few green leaves of various shapes on the branches. But the most attractive is that on the top, 3 leaves slowly surround, 3 different colors, and if you look closely, you will find that the 3 colors on the 3 leaves seem to be some flames, exuding some hot temperatures. Xiao Yang's heart was also calm at this time, thinking about how to buy these 3 flaming flowers. Although what is needed to devour the holy flames is the 7 flames flowers, but that thing is hard to come by. Now that I have encountered the 3 flames flowers, I will also make preparations as soon as possible. Unexpectedly, the 3 flame flower was picked up by the old man, and then said to Xiao Yang, how about those soils and this medicinal material in exchange for your void transformation pill? The old man also looked at Xiao Yang with a smile. From originally wanting to take advantage of Xiao Yang and taking Xiao Yang as a slaughter, to now trying his best to befriend Xiao Yang, his attitude has also undergone earth-shaking changes. This is the invisible demonstration caused by the powerful refining technology. Xiao Yang is also very satisfied with this. Just now, he was thinking about how to get the 3 flaming flowers, but he never thought that this old man would actually bring it to his door. As expected, alchemist is the most popular profession. What is this, old gentleman? Although Xiao Yang's heart had already blossomed with laughter, the value of these 3 flaming flowers and Xian had already exceeded the void transformation pill by too much, but he still had to do his best to avoid being turned back by the old man halfway through. I don't know what use this thing is. I took it next to the beast of the 5th rank of the Emperor. After I took it, I didn't know the secret. Therefore, for us cultivators, I am useless. Since the little brother and I are destined, then I will give you this medicinal herb. The old man also said quite readily. I can't see how precious this medicinal material is, but I still thank my predecessors. He also took the sanyanhua from the old man's hand, but when he put it away early, an unexpected voice suddenly sounded. I have taken a fancy to this medicinal material. This old gentleman should sell it to me. You will be satisfied with the price. A loud voice also sounded on the 3rd floor. Xiao Yang looked around and found that it was a man wearing expensive clothes, and Xiao Yang could sense that this man had a strong smell of a stubborn child. I've made a deal with this little friend, you should look for another family. The old man also said lightly, and the implication was obvious. I don't make money without making money, I really don't understand. The man wearing expensive clothes also said. This friend, please also sell me the medicinal materials in your hand, the price will naturally satisfy you. After I finished speaking, I walked towards Xiao Yang, as if I was going to take away the 3 flame flowers from Xiao Yang's hand. Oh, what if I don't sell it? Xiao Yang was also ready to fight at any time. You seem to have come to the wrong place. The old man shouted loudly, and then the breath all over his body also emanated. Old Wang, esteemed 2-star pharmacist of the Emperor rank, please calm down, we will handle this matter and explain to you one by one. A steward also quickly appeared in front of several people and said respectfully, 5-star fighting Emperor. The Alchemist of the 2nd-star Emperor. The arrogant aura of the man wearing expensive clothes disappeared, and he found that this time he had provoked some people he couldn't afford to offend. This is not a place where you can go wild, the steward said in an angry voice to the man in expensive clothes. Not to mention who the man in expensive clothes is, but the strength of the 5-star Do Emperor Wang Laro in front of him is not something he can afford, not to mention the 2nd-star Emperor Alchemist next to him, so he is also in charge. Don't care about the identity of the man who caused trouble. Don't you have eyes? Why don't you quickly hand over the things that my master likes, or else? An attendant behind the man wearing expensive clothes said, unaware of the situation. Hey, this is how this Danfang treats guests, it's really chilling. Xiao Yang also said lightly, and there was no lack of sourness in his words. Adult, calm down, I will give you a satisfactory explanation. The steward also said sweatingly, this seemingly weak scholar at such a young age is an alchemist who can advance to the 2nd-star of the Emperor rank, so the forces behind him are only it can be described as horror. If you anger such a big man, then your end will be very miserable. Are you two going to be private or should we settle it? We made trouble in our alchemy workshop, but we chose the wrong place. The steward also snorted coldly. It's not good for these two to provoke them, but they want to provoke a high-level pharmacist. Shut up for me. The man in expensive clothes also glanced viciously at the entourage behind him, then clasped his fists respectfully towards Xiao Yang and said, in Xingla, we have eyes but don't know Mount Tai, and we still hope to practice, don't worry about it, Master Yakushi, please accept it with a smile. After speaking, a card in his hand appeared and handed it to Xiao Yang. Only the 4-star Do D card can be used, and looking at the number on the card, there are as many as 1 million. Although the amount of 1 million is not too huge for Xiao Yang and the others, but being able to use 1 million at will is enough to show that the power behind this man is quite strong. Haha, isn't 1 million too little? And you also know that the most important thing a pharmacist lacks is money. Just when Xiao Yang was about to speak, the old man who was trading with Xiao Yang also said it. Obviously, Xingla's rudeness just now also angered him. Let Xingla bleed heavily as a lesson. In charge, I'll leave it to you to handle it. Xiao Yang also understood the old man's thoughts, and then cooperated with the performance. Yes, my lord. The steward also wanted to arrest Xingla and the two when he heard that. Wait a minute. Respected pharmacist, this is a precious medicinal material called soul-warming stone. Wearing it for a long time can increase the wearer's soul power. I think it is quite suitable for a pharmacist like you. Xingla also spoke out loudly, and then scolded a few words in his heart, bastard. After all, in the current state, the old man and the high-level pharmacist have clearly reached an agreement. Obviously, he wants Xingla to bleed heavily, otherwise he would really cause trouble today. Oh, then let's forget about it, Your Excellency. Xiao Yang also waved casually, and then the 4-pattern Do-D card and Soul Warming Stone were also accepted by Xiao Yang. The moment Xiao Yang accepted the 4-pattern Do-D card and the Warm Soul Stone, Xingle's eyelids also twitched violently, and he was obviously very distressed. It was only a small amount, but he bought this Soul Warming Stone after spending nearly 10 million yuan. Since that's the case, I would like to thank the Alchemist Master. We have to leave beforehand, Xingle also said, and then his eyes moved slightly, signaling his entourage to follow. Hehe, the old gentleman is really cruel. Xiao Yang also said. It's just a lesson for two ignorant people, it's also a lesson for them. The old man laughed. Let's go back to the second floor and I'll tidy up the soil and then our transaction is complete. The old man also said, after all, the void transformation pill in Xiao Yang's hand had already been traded to the old man, so that's why the old man came later. Of these actions. Yeah. Xiao Yang also responded. After all, this is a pill shop. Even Xiao Yang gave the pill to the old man for his reasons. First, it was to gain the trust of the old man. Second, he didn't worry about any problems with this transaction. After all, since this pill shop can be here, a prime location with such a huge flow of people is also enough to show that the energy behind this pill shop is not small, and every person who sells medicinal materials and pills in this consignment must have done a detailed registration. So Xiao Yang is also relieved. novelb//in.c//om. If that's the case, it's a good deal. If the little brother needs any medicinal materials in the future, just come and find me in this pill shop. The old man also made a deal with Xiao Yang and made a registration. What the old man said is very true. I will leave first if I have something to do. Xiao Yang also clasped his fists and said to the old man, well, be careful on the road, maybe the two of them will shoot at you just now. The old man also said with a smile, obviously he was old and sophisticated, and he could clearly see some different tastes in Xingle's eyes just now. Many thanks for the reminder, old gentleman. Xiao Yang also responded. Xiao Yang naturally discovered the little movement in Xingle's heart just now, but Xiao Yang didn't take the strength of the mere 4-star Do-Di in the early stage. After all, people with this price, Xiao Yang can handle it with one hand. Go down and check this alchemist named Yang Xiao with a 2nd Emperor rank star. I'm bleeding a lot, I'll make you pay it back. S entourage. Master, this Emperor rank 2-star pharmacist is not easy to mess with. Before coming out of the family, it was explained that the pharmacist is the most difficult person to mess with. If one is careless. The entourage was also extremely worried, obviously the big man in the family before going out. He has repeatedly emphasized not to provoke the pharmacist. Don't worry, if there is no accident, I will send him to hell. Xingle also said with a grim expression, obviously the embarrassment just now made Xingle quite unhappy. As for the case at home, you know how to do it. Xingle also did not forget to instruct his entourage to prevent him from harming his own good deeds. Well, I know. After speaking, he disappeared like a ghost. Bastard, I'll just let you have a dance party. I will retrieve the Sanyanhua and Soul Warming Stone unscathed. Xingle also stared at the Danfang and said viciously, and after speaking, he disappeared. Street with huge traffic. When Xiao Yang came out of the Danfang, he saw that it was getting late, and he got up and walked towards his residence. At the same time, he was also quite interested in the warm soul stone he had just obtained. Inside the ring, there are also extremely gentle forces nourishing Xiao Yang's soul realm. Yueru, what's wrong? Xiao Yang walked to his door and found a figure he thought he was familiar with. He walked in and saw that it was Yueru. He immediately opened his door and invited Yueru to enter. Well, there's nothing wrong, it's just that someone went missing before, then I'm afraid of you. Seeing that Xiao Yang was fine, Yueru was relieved. He was somewhat relieved. No, but you should be careful. Xiao Yang also spoke to comfort. Obviously Xiao Yang understood Yueru's mind, but Xiao Yang was not a ruthless person, and he still had some secrets that he had not solved, but in the final analysis, Xiao Yang was just taking care of Yueru as a brother and a sister. After all, they were the first group of people who came to Do-Di continent to help him. What happened to you yesterday? Yueru also bit her lips slightly, obviously unsure whether she should ask. Yesterday, nothing happened, that is, there was some abnormality in the soul power. Senior brother Mo Chen took me to the person in charge, and now it's resolved. Xiao Yang also noticed Yueru's actions and said, Xiao Yang, I don't know if you noticed. There seems to be something else here. I slept very badly last night, and the runes on my forehead always exude a force. I don't know what's going on. Yueru he also looked at Xiao Yang suspiciously, with a tone of help from Xiao Yang. Oh. Hearing that, Xiao Yang also looked at Yueru carefully. Indeed, there were some thick dark circles around the corner of Yueru's eyes, obviously because she was not resting well. Can you take a look at it for me? Yueru also bit her lips slightly, and then asked with a blushing face. That's not good, this rune is your inheritance. Xiao Yang hurriedly refused when he saw this, but before Xiao Yang finished his words, the mysterious rune on Yueru's forehead was also under Yueru's control. Exudes a faint light in degrees. Seeing this mysterious rune, Xiao Yang couldn't evade it, so he had to activate his own Do-Chi protection body and look at Yueru's forehead, ready to investigate. After all, the inheritance of this mysterious rune came from the bright moon fairy. Although I don't know how powerful it is, but if you can call yourself an immortal, then your strength is undoubtedly a fighting immortal. How could something that could be related to Do Xian be ordinary? So Xiao Yang had to be careful. The on Yueru's forehead also slowly radiated out. Xiao Yang frowned. He could feel a powerful force from this trace of power, which seemed to be sealed within Yueru's body. This power is not sealed in my body, and I have something in my body that can communicate this power. With the help of Crescent Moon Tsuegwa, I can only accept that inheritance when my strength reaches it. Yueru also noticed Xiao Yang. The change of expression, softly said. What level do you want to reach? Xiao Yang also asked curiously. At least you have to reach the 5-star Do Emperor. Yueru also said somewhat weakly. After all, the promotion of each star of this Do Emperor is extremely difficult. Don't worry, I believe that your future achievements will definitely be more than 5-star Do D. Xiao Yang also comforted. Well, it's just that the place to go when you accept the inheritance is really. Will you accompany me when my strength reaches 5-star Do D? Yueru also said softly, with a rare strength and expectation in her voice. Accompany me at any time. Xiao Yang also looked at Yueru and couldn't bear to refuse, but he didn't know that in the distant future, Xiao Yang would regret this decision at this time. Pull the hook, hang yourself, it will not change for 100 years. Yueru also regained her smile, pulling up Xiao Yang's fingers and touching them together. Xiao Yang couldn't beat her, so she had to do these little things. Afterwards, Xiao Yang also used his soul power to inspect Yueru's body, but found nothing, so he had to do it, and then explained a few words to Yueru. I haven't noticed anything wrong, but I'd better be careful these days. These are some medicinal pills to soothe the nerves. You should be able to sleep well after taking them tonight. Xiao Yang also took out some medicinal pills and said to Yueru. No, these things are too precious, I can't take them. Yueru also evaded, looking like a little daughter-in-law, which made Xiao Yang laugh and say, take it, you and me too. Why do people need to be so polite? Okay. But just treat it as what I owe you, and I will pay you back in the future. Yueru also took the medicine pill from Xiao Yang's hand, and then swore to Xiao Yang. Okay. Xiao Yang hurriedly agreed where he needed Yueru to repay him. The two chatted for a while, and Xiao Yang saw Yueru yawning and escorted Yueru to her residence before returning to her place with confidence. After carefully inspecting the surroundings, he laid down a soul barrier. Xiao Yang felt relieved after doing all of this. Then he took out the purple clay-shaped Lingxian and Sanyan Hua. The soul-warming stone and the one with 1,000,000 the 4-pattern Do D card of gold coins. This clay-shaped Lingxian is also easy to handle. It only needs to be baked with flames when using it, and Xiao Yang bought the 3-flame flower with a foolproof mentality. The land is different, but it is not a kind of fate to meet Sanyan Hua, so I bought it early. Xiao Yang, the 4-pattern Do D card, was also put into the Emperor Yang ring together with Lingxian and Sanyan Hua without even looking at it. Then I carefully looked at this small piece of time in front of me. The soul-warming stone is about the size of Xiao Yang's palm, and its shape is irregular, but its surface has a layer of lustrous luster, which is indescribably beautiful. Xiao Yang also slowly placed his palm on the soul-warming stone, but found that there was a very small ray of light penetrating into his body from the soul-warming stone, and then Xiao Yang felt that it was originally because of the test. And the soul power in the consumed soul realm is recovering at a speed visible to the naked eye. The speed is also quite slow. With this astonishing discovery, Xiao Yang was also quite overjoyed. Sure enough, the Dodi continent deserves to be a high-level plane, and there are many strange things. Where in the world can there be such a good thing? This soul-warming stone is good, but it also has limitations. According to your current soul power, the stone in your hand will definitely become a waste stone within 5 times. The Golden Dragon King is also speak out. Ah! Hearing this, Xiao Yang also said in frustration. This soul-warming stone is divided into upper, middle, and lower grades. It stores soul power. Others can absorb the soul power in it when it operates. However, if it is absorbed, it will become a waste stone. The Golden Dragon King also came out. Sound. Yeah. Hearing that, Xiao Yang also put away the soul-warming stone and prepared to rest. After all, there will be a notice for the 5th level talent and selection competition tomorrow. Just as Xiao Yang was about to lie down, a cloud of black gas appeared in the mid-air of the brightly lit room, quite eerie. Then the black energy attacked Xiao Yang as if looking for a target. Xiao Yanzi, be careful of that black chi. The voice of the Golden Dragon King also sounded like a giant thunder in Xiao Yang's heart. Bang! After the black air touched Xiao Yang, it sounded like a balloon being punctured. Xiao Yang disappeared into his room, and when he reappeared, it was already a place full of darkness. Where is this? Xiao Yang was also shocked by this sudden scene. He was just about to lie down to rest, but unexpectedly, he came to this dark place after his master, the Golden Dragon King, gave a startled shout. Looking around, in the pitch-black space, he seemed to be lying on a stone bed. But it's too late to be surprised. The huge soul power is covered in all directions. The first thing to figure out is where it is. Master, this is... Xiao Yang also asked in his heart. This seems to be an underground world, and the ghosts are also very dignified. In short, be careful. The voice of his master, the Golden Dragon King, also sounded. In Xiao Yang's perception, this place seems to be a huge underground world with intricate passages extending in all directions. I don't know why the people above are arresting so many people. The people above said that the previous batch of people is still not enough, and they have to arrest some more. But this time, I have taken so many people, so I'm not afraid of attracting the attention of the senior officials of Shen Santian, but these are not things that we need to worry about. This time I found someone who lives in the Tianzi room. The person who can live in the Tianzi room is... An illusory voice was also heard by Xiao Yang. Hearing that, Xiao Yang was also thinking quickly, the unknown world is still unstoppable, and it is better to wait for the opportunity to move. Xiao Yang also closed his eyes when he had a plan. Hey, why is the strength of the peak of the 3-star Do Emperor also living in the Tianzi room? The people who were captured before living in the Tianzi room are at least the strength of the 4-star Do Emperor. Are these humans mistaken? A shadow also walked into the stone bed and sensed Xiao Yang. It is more appropriate to say that it is walking, rather than floating, because the shadow is floating in the air, and it has no feet at all. Just when the shadow sensed Xiao Yang also felt that the shadow's aura was gloomy and strange, which was not like the aura of a human being or an alien race at all. The aura of the shadow in front of him seems to be quite similar to his own master, the Golden Dragon King, who is in a state of soul. It's actually a ghost. The Golden Dragon King's voice also sounded solemnly in Xiao Yang's mind. A ghost? Xiao Yang also frowned. Yes, ghost. It's the creatures in the ghost world. The aura of the creatures in the ghost world is known for being eerie, and it's quite troublesome once the ghost aura enters the body. Anyway, be careful. The Golden Dragon King also said solemnly. Yeah. Xiao Yang also agreed, and then he was extremely shocked, but he didn't have too many needles, and lay quietly on the stone bed. Take this human over there. After the black shadow finished speaking, several figures appeared like the living dead. They had the same body as a human walking on land, but strangely, their eyes were eclipsed. Tick-tock. The low sound of water droplets is also very noticeable in this dim passage. After a while, Xiao Yang was carried to a bright stone room. There was a cold pool in the stone room, and there were many human beings who looked like him. Why is he here too? Xiao Yang was gently put down, and the huge soul force had been quietly investigating since he came here, and found that there was a little Taoist priest wearing a Taoist robe beside him. It was the person he met in the tea house before. It seemed that his name was Mu Feng. The Dao-robed boy also seemed to find another person beside him. Immediately, he moved his fingers. Once there was a faint light, it flew towards Xiao Yang from his fingers. You also said, it's very dangerous here. A small light came to Xiao Yang, and a voice also appeared in Xiao Yang's mind. It's really amazing to carry the sound with strength. Xiao Yang was too busy to be amazed, and then a beam of light faintly moved towards Mu Feng. I don't know. I didn't know why I came here while I was still sleeping in bed. Xiao Yang also said what he meant. Wait a while, I'll take you away. Mu Feng also confidently conveyed the message to Xiao Yang. Xiao Yang did not continue to transmit the information after receiving the information, after all, if it was discovered. How's the preparation going? Not long after, a shadowy figure also said in Han Kai, "With these people, there are a total of 100 people, so it should be fine." There was a voice that came from nowhere, but it was also respectful. "Humph. Mere human beings, this time I will let you know the name of our ghost world. Ha ha ha." The ghostly aura of the figure standing beside Han Kai also became more and more solid, and under Xiao Yang's perception, this black figure's strength seemed to be less than Hu Dulai's. The shadow stayed for a while, then left the stone room, and the whole stone room returned to silence. "Let's go." When I heard Xiao Yang, I got up immediately, and Mu Feng also got up after finishing speaking. "Damn, what is this?" Xiao Yang came to the door of the stone room, but found that there was an invisible force blocking this place, and he couldn't get out. "Look at me. Yin and Yang and the 5 elements, all things come together. Hidden." Mu Feng chanted some strange incantations, and after Mu Feng finished chanting, Xiao Yang and his body also became illusory. "Don't worry, this is only temporary." Mu Feng also saw that Xiao Yang's expression was wrong and said. When Xiao Yang heard this, he also had a new understanding of this Mu Feng. Such a powerful method obviously often dealt with this ghost. After doing all this, Mu Feng also walked slowly to the cold pond and looked at the place carefully. In the stone room, except for some comatose peers, this is the cold pool. The cold pool is not big, only about a jong in diameter. The water is dark, and it looks very deep. Xiao Yang stood by the pool, looked at the pool silently, and suddenly asked, "Don't you think there is something strange about this cold pool?" Hearing this, Mu Feng calmed down and looked at Han Kai, as if thinking about something. At this time, Mu Feng took a step back, with his hands making strange handprints on his chest, his feet moved slightly, and he said something in a few steps. After a while, he suddenly opened his mouth and said, "Yin and Yang and the 5 elements, the universe is transformed, the magic eye, open." When the words fell, he saw 2 strange lights shot out of his eyes, which instantly shot straight into the cold pool, which was extremely mysterious. Mu Feng said with a surprised expression, "According to the results of my investigation, the gloomy and ghostly auras at the bottom of this pond are very powerful. It seems that there are some powerful ghosts hidden, so be careful. And there is an eye of a cold spring at the bottom of this pond. There is a jade talisman in the spring, and it seems that some cracks have already formed. Looking at that appearance, I am afraid it is caused by suppressing this powerful ghost, maybe because of a long time, has been eroded by that ghostly energy, and is slowly shattering." Xiao Yang frowned when he heard the words. He also detected the situation that Mu Feng said under the perception of soul power. But more importantly, he also found that there was a seal in the eye of the yin spring at the bottom of the pond, and the gloomy ghost inside it was growing rapidly, and its speed was astonishing. It seems that he is trying to charge up to attack this seal. Next to the eye of Yinquan, there is an irregular groove. It seems that there should be something there before, but unfortunately there is no more. It's also a scourge for things to come out here. Why don't we join forces to solve it? Mu Feng and Xiao Yang stood by the cold pool, and then Mu Feng said excitedly, "It's not very good." Xiao Yang also refused. After all, the two of them had only met twice. Although they knew that Mu Feng was also here to participate in the test and selection, they had to be defensive, not to mention in the cold pool. The things are too weird. This Mu Feng actually wants to deal with him by himself. It must be a conspiracy. How can you do this? I kindly save you, but you don't want to kill the people. If the things in this cold pond escape, I don't know how many people will suffer. Mu Feng also scolded Xiao Yang with hatred. Xiao Yang was also convinced by this Mu Feng's childlike character, and it was not easy to refuse immediately. After all, he was helped by this Mu Feng's invisibility just now, and then he saw that Mu Feng didn't have a trace here. Because Xiao Yang saw something different in his eyes, he was very excited. This kid should know some unknown secrets. Are you sure? Xiao Yang was also a little uncertain. After all, even Xiao Yang couldn't perceive the power of ghosts under the cold pond. They must be extremely powerful. Moreover, Xiao Yang had never dealt with such a thing before. It's even more tricky to get up. If one is not careful, then the two of them are also. I'm not sure. But I believe you have also heard what that person said before. There are so many people here, all of them are newcomers who came to participate in the selection. If you look carefully, there are hundreds of people here. Xiao Yang just finished Mu Feng's voice. Even if he turned his head to look, there were many black figures standing not far from the two of them, and there were as many as 100 people. If my expectations are correct, these people will all be thrown into this cold pond. Once the ghosts in this cold pond break the seal, Even the chief person in charge here will be more fortunate. So do you dare to try? Mu Feng did not hide it from Xiao Yang. After all, the latter had a powerful power that was barely there. Even Mu Feng couldn't match it, but when it comes to dealing with ghosts, Mu Feng has a lot of power. Quite confident than Xiao Yang, after all, he has dealt with these ghosts since he was a child. Then give it a try, if something is wrong, run away immediately, Xiao Yang also said solemnly. I knew you would do this. Mu Feng also said as if he had expected Xiao Yang's actions. Be careful. Xiao Yang was also emphasizing that Mu Feng's soul power was obviously not as strong as Xiao Yang's. Xiao Yang could feel a faint wave of fluctuations in this cold pool, full of the smell of death. I saw Mu Feng, the ring on his finger flashed, and something appeared on his left and right hands. There were words in his mouth, and then layers of blue light appeared all over his body, the light on his left hand drew, and his right hand clenched the wooden sword, and his body moved around the cold pool. Mu Feng muttered words in his mouth, and swung the wooden sword in his right hand eagerly, like a master of folk practice casting spells, which was very funny. Xiao Yang watched from the side and couldn't help but chuckle. He thought this kid was very weird, but he also felt that there were bursts of light appearing where Mu Feng walked, and there was also a terror on the wooden sword. The power is brewing. However, the Golden Dragon King, who was entrenched in Xiao Yang's body, had a trace of deep thought in his eyes at this time, as if he had thought of something, and was a little surprised. I never imagined that there are still people in this world who master the art of gossip yin and yang. The Golden Dragon King also spoke slowly. Gossip yin and yang technique. Xiao Yang was also surprised. Xiao Yang had heard from his master Jinlong King before, that this world is very big, and there are many people who practice in other ways. Xiao Yang only understood at this time that it was no wonder that Mu Feng was not afraid of this spooky ghost. It turned out that he was carrying a treasure. How can something in this pond feel familiar? The Golden Dragon King also said solemnly, but Xiao Yang stared at Han Kai and didn't hear it. Mu Feng snorted lightly, and saw the wooden sword in his hand suddenly burst out with a powerful blue light, slashing down at Han Kai. Immediately, the powerful cyan sword chi hit the surface of the pool in an instant, and a loud noise came, and the water splashed several meters high. Immediately afterwards, I saw countless black smoke in the cold pond slowly emerging, and slowly disappearing into nothingness under Mu Feng's blue sword energy. After Mu Feng slashed out with his sword, he instantly took out a blood-colored paper talisman with his left hand, bit his right index finger, and quickly wrote a long string of blood spells on the talisman, and then immediately slapped it towards Han Kai. I saw that blood talisman suddenly turned into a huge energy dragon, and instantly entered the cold pool. As soon as the blood talisman entered the cold pond, the water in the cold pond suddenly swelled, and it seemed to be afraid of the blood talisman. Then the gurgling sound accompanied by countless black gases floated up from the pool, and then turned into thin threads under the power of the blood talisman. Disappeared into the air. At this time, the entire water surface shook violently. The waves in the pool were getting bigger and bigger, and then a black attack beam of light instantly shot out from the pool, breaking through the suppression of the pool water, and breaking through the energy dragon of Mu Feng's blood talisman, and instantly rushed to Mu Feng's position NOVLB//in.C//om. The wooden sword in Mu Feng's hand erupted into a monstrous atmosphere, and it was indistinguishable from the black beam of light. At this time, Xiao Yang's complexion changed greatly, and the dou qi in his body was also running to the extreme. A terrifying milky white dou qi light instantly appeared, swept away wildly, and slashed the black object that came out of the cold pool. At this time, I saw that in the cold pool, a black gas was slowly appearing above the water surface, and the black gas formed a black figure, very gloomy, like a ghost. When Mu Feng saw the black ghost, his face changed slightly, and he said loudly, "Be careful, this is a very rare ghost, it is extremely powerful, it is comparable to the powerhouse in the early stage of our 4-star fighting emperor very it's hard to deal with." After speaking, he swung the wooden sword, muttering to himself, and then suddenly sent out a dark blue brilliance, mercilessly slashing at the ghost. With a yawning grin, the ghost's body instantly turned into light smoke and disappeared from the spot. In the next instant, he appeared behind Xiao Yang. He was about to attack Xiao Yang, but unexpectedly, Xiao Yang slapped the ghost with his palm. Xiao Yang was also fighting this ghost for the first time. It felt like an attack hitting a sponge. Seeing this, the ghost spirit also hurriedly dodged, and just about to make a move, he found that there was some movement in the cold pool beside him, and then stared at the water surface of the cold pool without moving. The water surface of the cold pond was bubbling with big bubbles, and as soon as the bubbles were broken, a thicker black gas also diffused out, as if something was about to appear. Damn, how can there be such a level of ghost energy here? Xiao Yanzi, hurry up. The voice of his master, the Golden Dragon King, roared violently in Xiao Yang. Xiao Yang was shocked by the sudden voice of his master Jinlong, and then he didn't bother to stop, grabbed Mu Feng who was still casting spells, and ran out quickly. Because even if his master, the Golden Dragon King, didn't remind himself, Xiao Yang's huge soul power felt an unheard-of smell from the even larger black gas above the cold pond. This video will end here.